The trench system of the Western Front in World War I fixed from the winter of 1914 to the spring of 1918, eventually stretched from the northeast coast of Belgium southward through France. In total, trenches stretched from some 25,000 miles, 12,000 of those miles occupied by the Allies and the rest by Central Powers. There were 3 trenches: front trench about 50 yards from the enemy, and there was a support trench and a reserve trench.
In April 1915, the French looked out and gazed and seen a strange phenomenon coming towards them. It was a heavy-colored vapor poured relentlessly into the trenches, filled them, and passed on. For a couple seconds, nothing had happened. The sweet smell tickled their nostrils without any fear of danger. When the gas started to work, they became unconscious and died where they lay, a death of hideous torture with the frothing bubbles gurgling in their throats and the foul liquid swelling up their lungs.
On April 2, 1917, President Wilson went before a joint session of Congress to request a declaration of war against Germany. Wilson cited Germany's violation of its pledge to suspend unrestricted submarine warfare in North Atlantic and the Mediterranean, as well as its attempts to entice Mexico into an alliance against the United States, as is reasons for declaring war.
The Selective Service Act signed by President Wilson on May 18, 1917, which managed the introduction of some 2.8 million men into armed forces over the next 2 years and abolished the much-maligned bounty system, initially targeting male citizens aged 21 to 30. The draft was eventually expanded to include all able-bodied men aged 18 to 45. American armed forces demobilized after the Armistice of November 1918. The fighting in Battle of Cameron cost the Italians around 10,000 killed, 20,000 wounded, and 275,000 captured. It was one of the few victories in World War I. On October 24th to November 19, 1917, one in which 25-year-old German Lieutenant Erwin Rommel showed signs of his future greatness. It was a spectacular victory when brought Italy into the brink of national collapse.
German flying ace known as the Red Baron was killed by Allied fire. On April 21, 1918, with 80 victories under his belt, Richthofen penetrated deep into Allied territory in pursuit of a British aircraft. The Red Baron was flying too near to the ground as an Australian gunner shot him through his chest, and his plane crashed into a field.
The Battle of Somme, also known as Somme Offense, was one of the largest battles of the First World War, fought between July 1st and November 1st, 1918, near the Somme River in France. It was also one of the bloodiest military battles in history. On the first day alone, the British suffered more than 57,000 casualties, and by the end of the campaign, the Allies and Central Powers would lose more than 1.5 million men. In early 1916, the French proposed the joint Franco-British Army assumed the major role of the Somme offensive. Hence, on July 1st, 1916, the British Army attacked north of the Somme with 14 infantry divisions.